Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper, and welcome back, everybody. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and what we're going to be going over in this video are 10 things that you didn't know you could do inside of Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, some of the things we're going to talk about in this video are going to be like little known Easter eggs or very secretive information or just things that are features of the map that people tend to not do very often. So if you end up watching this video to the very end, you're probably going to come away with a lot more information and knowledge about this game than you had before you watched this. And before we get started and jump into all of that, you've been absolutely crushing the support on the channel recently, so thank you so much. And we're going to try to continue that on this video. If this in any way helps you out or you learned something useful, please make sure to leave a like rating, as it does help me out very, very much. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel for more content just like this. And we're getting extremely close to 200,000. I cannot stress that enough, but I want to say a big thank you in advance for that as well. And with all that finally out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into these 10 things that you didn't know you could do inside of Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now, coming on first on our list today is going to be an upgrade for all of the default shields on the standard map. So you know that there's 3 parts for every single Zombies map, and you can put together a shield that will watch your back. Now, there is an upgrade quest for all 3 of the maps that you can do to further upgrade that shield, and in my opinion, Void to Despair has the coolest quest. It's very involved, but essentially it involves you getting 4 different bone parts and putting them in corresponding safes, getting a firework, and waiting for like a ghostly summoned car or something to drive over said firework and fly through the air across the ship, and you need to shoot the firework into the bottom of it, and eventually that firework will throw the car off its traditional path into an iceberg, and then a chunk of that iceberg will fly into your shield and upgrade it. It'll be a little bit more frosty, and it'll give you extra ammunition as well. Same thing with 9. That has an upgrade to the traditional shield that is also a pretty involved quest. So if you want to know how to do either of those, there are tutorials on YouTube. Blood of the Dead one is pretty easy. You just have to roll the mystery box until you get a lock where it's going to move. You shock it with your key for a couple seconds and then throw your tomahawk at it, and bada bing bada boom, that one's upgraded. Now, I will say this though, as far as Voyage and 9 are concerned, because those processes are so complex and involved, they're almost as intense as doing the main quest itself, so it's not always smart to try and upgrade your shield, nor is it really worth it if you just want to get the main quest done and get out. But if you want to do it just for the experience, then by all means go for it. It's a fun thing to do. Now, the next thing I want to talk about on this list is busting myths about pack-a-punch in this game, because on launch it was not very clear-cut about what it does to your gun at all, how many times you should upgrade, which one is the best alternate ammo type, things like that. So we're going to break down exactly what you can do with pack-a-punch inside of BO4. So really quickly, just for reference, in Treyarch games, pack-a-punch has always been a staple. It increases damage on your gun, and in games like BO2, even BO1, and especially Black Ops 3, you would get different attachments, alternate ammo types, and it would change your gun if you pack-a-punch more than once. And Black Ops 4 has done the same thing. However, this was not clear on launch that it does indeed boost your damage over time the more you pack-a-punch to a certain extent. The way it works in BO4 is that you can initially upgrade any bullet weapon for 5,000, which is the traditional pack-a-punch. You get extra damage, and you can continue to further upgrade it, double, quadruple pack-a-punch it up to 4 more times for 2,500 points. That will give you extra damage as well, and by upgrading it to that 4th time when it's 2,500, that is going to give you the equivalent of double tap. It will stop gaining more damage, and you'll be at your max when it starts charging you 1,500 and just changing the alternate ammo type instead of giving you extra boost damage as well. That means, technically speaking, double tap is still a part of the game. You just have to acquire it a little bit differently, and it no longer takes up a perk slot, which in my opinion is absolutely fine. Something interesting to note is that you can even take a launcher like the Hellion Salvo and upgrade that a further 4 more times too to get it more damage. And you do get an alternate ammo type, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not something that you can activate. That would be absolutely sick if you could, but it does give you more damage, which is essential for doing the Void of Despair boss fight. So the next thing on our list is an upgrade for the Retriever that's inside of Blood of the Dead. Getting the Hell's Redeemer is not that hard of a quest, and it's just like it was in Black Ops 2. It functions the same way. It's infinite damage, which is essential for high rounds play. It's a very useful piece of equipment to have on you, and to be honest, the upgrade quest itself is pretty simplistic. It basically involves you getting the regular Retriever, getting enough kills, and then finding a wolf head symbol around the map, which can be a little bit tricky, and there definitely are quite a few spawns that are scattered around the map. But once you find that symbol, you can just throw it at it. It will take your tomahawk away, and then you need to wait for the next dog round to find a ghostly dog that you can only see through your spectral shield. Give him a nice blast, he's going to drop the tomahawk, and then it will be in the original location where you picked up the first one, and it's that easy. You now have the Redeemer, it's infinite damage, and you can use that for the rest of your game if you want to play the Easter egg. Works great for that also. I wanted to make sure I include this because I think that a lot of newer players are not going to even know about that quest at all. It was a very popular Easter egg on day 1, but if anybody's just jumping into the game that happened to miss that scene, they might not even know about this upgrade quest whatsoever. So I wanted to make sure that I get that out of the way. So the next thing on our list you might not have known about is a interesting fact about the Scepter of Ra. This is one of the specialist weapons inside of the Chaos storyline, and I see most players are using this incorrectly. A lot of the more, experienced or keen zombies players understand this as a weapon. Now, what this does is let you kill zombies and also revive teammates, but when you shoot them with the Scepter, a lot of people are holding the entire beam on the Scepter on their teammate until they are revived, but all you really have to do in reality is hit them with a singular, just little tap of that ray of energy, and then a symbol of Ra will come out and revive that teammate. You're free to run away or keep fighting zombies or something. As long as you touch them with that Scepter, with that beam, then they're fine. They're instantly good to go, and they'll also keep their perks, not to mention. That's a very important piece, and I think that it's a very underrated specialist given that fact. There's tons of examples about different modifiers and attributes that these specialist weapons can give you across the Ether and Chaos storyline, but this is absolutely one of the most important ones to know, and I think that a lot of players can benefit from this knowledge. You may not have known anything about the Scepter of Ra, but now given this information, this will make Easter egg runs a lot easier if you're playing high rounds with a buddy in sort of co-op. The Scepter of Ra is a absolute must-have when you're running certain Easter eggs, so just some information to put away and keep in mind. Now, the next thing you might not have known about is inside of Blood of the Dead, and it's regarding your shield and the charges that come with it. Now, if you know anything about running this Easter egg, you'll know how important having charges in your shield key are, and it's an absolute pain, we all know that, to draw them out from the zombies. It takes forever. It's a very long and arduous process, but what you might not know is that there's these red boxes around the map that can give you a full charge just by holding square. Now, a charge is only going to be at one power box around the map at a given time, but what I think this was Treyarch's way of giving a nod or an extra bonus to people who played original Mob of the Dead from Black Ops 2. All of these red boxes are former Afterlife locations from the older map, so if you're familiar with all of these and you just know them by heart and you need extra shield charges, which again is absolutely essential for the Easter egg, then this is going to be a huge help. If you have your shield upgraded, simply holding square on one of these boxes can give you a full 4 charges right off the bat. I love this as an Easter egg because not only is it kind of nostalgic, it's also a way to significantly improve your knowledge of the map if you understand where these boxes are, and can be so useful during an Easter egg run. So definitely make sure that you're keeping that in mind and take that to heart. So the next thing I want to discuss is the best piece of equipment, hands down, that you can select in your created class, and it's a particular type of grenade that you might have been hearing a lot about recently. It's gotten pretty popular among most players, and what I'm discussing today is the Wraith Fire grenade. Now, this has a lot of unique properties. It's essentially a Molotov, but that the fire cannot hurt you whatsoever. It only burns zombies and different enemies. But what's also special about it is that this in fact also has infinite damage, meaning that you can be on an insanely high round and it's still going to kill zombies with a singular nade. The only downside is that you can only really carry 2, maybe 3 at a time if you're running a talisman, stuff like that. So you don't have an unlimited supply of them, but they're easy to get back and they're fantastic as just an all-around practical piece of equipment. So to sum it up, just generally, the Wraith Fire is the best piece of equipment. You should always be running it. Okay, so this next thing I kind of need to set up, and it's almost a two-parter of things that you might have known about Black Ops 4 Zombies inside of Blood of the Dead. So there is this water tower that is just outside the recreation yard, and it's always been pretty suspicious since day one when we were Easter egg hunting on this map, trying to figure out how to get to this boss fight and finish this quest. Now, what ended up happening was there is a golden spork Easter egg upgrade quest. So you get the spoon as a melee weapon, and then there is a further quest to turn that into the golden spork. And we thought that these were unrelated because you could get the spork without doing a single thing with this water tower originally, but the Easter egg has been patched to where now this is the final step in that process. You can knock over the supports that are holding up the water tower, and eventually you shoot all of them off. I believe there are 4 or 5 in total, and then the water tower that's actually filled with blood will fall over, and then giving you access to the fully upgraded spork, the golden spork as it's classically known as from BO2, and this is an insane melee weapon that will give you a one-hit melee damage until round 34, which is nuts. I honestly kind of wish that this water tower was an unrelated step and was a lead to another Easter egg, but so be it. It was just a broken step on day one that they ended up patching for the golden spork quest itself, but still very cool nonetheless, something you might not have known about this game. Quick little bonus I thought I'd throw in regarding the stamina perk, which is my absolute favorite in this game. There's been a lot of controversy and confusion about what this actually does, and while we don't have the exact numbers for the bonus that it gives you, you can essentially break it down like this. Not having stamina up is going to give you a 0% speed increase, while having stamina up in one of these slots will give you essentially a 10%, but having it in the modifier, the tonic or Odin slot, and activated will give you almost 20% increased speed during the entire time that it's activated active, and in my opinion that's absolutely huge. So I always recommend at the end of the day to run stamina up in that tonic or Auden slot. If you value your movement speed, it's something to consider, and you can never go wrong with this as a perk overall. So the next thing on our list is going to be on the map Classified. There is a door in the back of the main offices in the back right, and this is actually Robert McNamara's door. You hold square on this and to initiate a conversation with him, and after a couple of seconds, you do this around 5 times. Samantha is going to end up getting mad at you for harassing him so much and spawn in a ton of Nova crawlers in your vicinity. And the reason why this is beneficial, doing it such an early round, is because you can walk out of the starting room. You can do this as early as 1 if you want to, and come out with 6 to 7, maybe even 8,000 points, and that's huge for opening up the rest of the map and then doing things early if you want. If you're trying to do the Project Scotty Easter egg to get the Winter's Howl, or you want to set up for around 150 run to get the cutscene, either way, I recommend you do this as it's not too hard to start at all, and the Nova crawlers are pretty easy to kill given the wall weapons and probably the mystery box that you're gonna have up there also. Pretty cool little Easter egg, and definitely something to keep in mind while you're playing this map. Now the final thing we're going to talk about before we unveil our #1 spot on this list is going to be a feature on Classified, and this is a way that you can get bonfire sales and extremely cheap pack-a-punch. All you need to do is go down to Area 51 and survive 3 full rounds, and some debris will clear out, giving you 2 drops, a max ammo, and a pack-a-punch machine, which is in fact a bonfire sale from Black Ops 1, making the pack-a-punch machine only 500 points, which is huge just to get everything upgraded all at once. It's awesome, and you can do this multiple times. If you go to Area 51 and you clear out debris, you leave and then come back and do another 3 full rounds, it will slowly clear out, and you can get almost the entirety of this part of the map open, which is insane, and it's probably pretty necessary if you're going to be doing that around 150 to try to get the cutscene also. I mean, you're going to be there for a while. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so the final thing we're going to talk about is probably one of the most useful things I can tell you about BO4 that you might not know that you can do. There is a way to obtain 5 perks in this game. Now, this has been one of these zombie games that it's really hard to get any more than 4, pretty much impossible, because that's the way that the system is now. In Black Ops 3, we had Perkaholic, which could give you all of them right off the bat, but Black Ops 4 operates very differently. You have to make your choice of 4 based on your selected strategy and stuff like that, but there is a way to get 5. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So on the map 9, most people now know about the challenge board. You knife down the flag and you can do 3 simple challenges inside of the starting room to get a pack-a-punch pistol. Now the problem is most people stop after they get the pistol and continue on with their game and disregard the challenges, but if you want to continue these and go to like at least 6 of them, maybe 7, you're going to be rewarded with this bad boy right here. You'll see a perk vapor inside of that bowl for a limited time. You can grab it and take a look at my player icon. Just near it, I have received time slip, and what's amazing about this is that I get to keep my 4 perks in my slot as well. It doesn't mess with any of that. Got my revive, my dying wish, my burst, and also my stamina up, and I just have time slip on the side. And as far as I'm aware, you can be awarded any other perk in the game that you don't currently have. So you can get an amazing one, you can get one that maybe you don't necessarily want, but it's never wrong to go for that 5th perk because it's free. You might as well, and it only takes a couple of challenges which really aren't that hard to do, and you can have done by round 15 to 20. But everyone, that is going to conclude our list for today. Those were some things that you probably didn't know that you could do inside of Black Ops 4 Zombies, and I hope that this was able to shed some light or give you a little bit of insight into more things and features that you can do in this game. If it helped out at all, I would really appreciate a like rating on the video, as well as if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos that I post that are in this kind of similar concept. And if there's anything specific that you would like to see me upload, definitely let me know in the comments, as I'm absolutely open to any and all feedback that you're willing to give me. But I really appreciate you guys for watching, and make sure to follow me on Twitter and join my Discord server if you haven't already. All that stuff will be linked down below in the description. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great one, and I'll see you all on the next live stream or the next video. Take it easy, guys, and peace out.